Scoot in.
But I don't like him.
Like, AIDS.
I mean, better safe than sorry.
That's fair. That's fair. You wouldn't want to accidentally get AIDS.
Especially from God.
You also probably wouldn't want to get AIDS on purpose. You don't have to tap.
I'm sure somebody has.
Gotten AIDS on purpose. Oh no, it's a thing. It's a crime that you can be charged for to purposefully get AIDS or any communicable disease, but it has happened with AIDS to try and spread it. That's very fucked up.
Or like giving somebody AIDS and not telling them that you're like HIV positive, and then they're charged with murder basically.
Yep.
Couldn't you just claim a bunch of ignorance? Like,
no.
If you know that you have AIDS, it has been recorded.
Well, yeah, like
by
if you've
the
been to
CDC.
the doctor or something, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the only way that you would know and do it on purpose.
There's a legal precedent for it already. So.
Yeah, because like you could think you have AIDS, but you wouldn't know, and therefore you couldn't necessarily be doing it on purpose.
Not many people get AIDS anymore.
Huh?
Not many people get AIDS.
Well, yeah, it's because there's awareness of it.
Well, no, they get
all
HIV.
them ribbons, dude.
Well, they get HIV, but it doesn't go into full-blown AIDS.
Yeah, because there's an awareness for it, and they find out, oh, I have HIV, I need to take care of this shit, make sure it doesn't go further.
How has he not died from AIDS yet? The cure is lots and lots of money. They're just blending up the money. Oh, shoot. What's up, everybody? Welcome to NIBScast, episode 54. I'm one of your hosts, Aaron Lamping, joined as always by Nikki13.
Hi. I was going to say boner, but I realized 90% of the time I just say boner.
Matt Slate's here, too.
Permanent 3, yay.
Congratulations. And Josh
P3.
Hancock. Butt on Hancock, some might say. With his Expo shirt. Wasn't that just happening?
No, this was
PAX East is happening.
Yeah, this was 2013.
Right. See, it's right there. There's a date.
It's a convention that doesn't even exist anymore.
I wasn't sure
think
which
that Aaron
convention
meant,
it was.
yeah.
Oh.
I think Aaron meant, didn't that convention for this year just
For some odd reason, I thought Josh went to PAX.
I would love to, but that requires a lot more time and planning and money and attempting to get tickets that sell out within like 5 hours.
And that they don't like have a set time for. They just like tweet out like, "Oh yeah, they're on sale now."
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Which
luck,
is to fight
everybody else.
scalping, which I appreciate, but I feel like that just makes the scalpers who are like the people who get paid to do that kind of thing just like, "Oh, I've got nothing better to do. I'll sit here and refresh Twitter."
Yeah, comparative to the rest of us who are, at work and it comes up and like, dang it!
What's been going on this week? Matt, you bought a chain link fence today.
Yeah, we spent the day at Lowe's getting chain link fence and paint and stuff. So
Nice.
So that'll be next week. Her parents are moving, and then the week after is probably when we'll start putting it up.
You're going to put those weird plastic slats through it?
No.
Good.
But the house is actually yours now, right?
Yes. As of Friday, it is our ownership.
Nice.
And then as of this Friday, her parents now own the farm. They just don't take possession until next Friday.
Right.
Makes sense. Cool beans. Anything with you, Nick?
I bought a cat tree.
Ooh.
Nice.
It was big. It was black. Well, no, I was looking at cat trees and I went, that one looks cool because you don't see a whole lot of cat trees that are black. Because, the carpet is usually, tan.
Yeah.
Like, that looks cool. I'm going to get that. That's the end of that story. Fucking thrilling.
Yeah, I've had nothing, major happen this week at all.
No,
garage sailing a bit today, which all of them were inside.
It's
inside
weird.
their house. It was weird. We went to this one, nice old lady, nicest old lady in the world, but she had, a lot of, old-timey stuff, the hats and stuff, and it was really neat, but I'm pretty sure she had some of her panties out for sale, too.
Did you get a Snapchat from Sasha?
Maybe. I don't know. No.
Okay. I wasn't sure because our phones went off at the same time. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt that. She had her panties for sale?
Pretty darn sure.
I didn't realize. It's a thing that
I kind of, flashed, and I was like, and I was like, I want out.
It's a thing I've had in my head for a while, but I find the word panties just gross. There's something weird about it.
Moist panties. Panties in a bunch.
But I didn't realize it until you named that other episode, and I went, ugh, panties. Ugh.
Panties. Sure, a little appeal behind the curtain for how NIBScast get named. Usually listen to like the first 2 minutes, see if something's funny.
Or if at some point during the podcast we went, oh hey, we should name this one that.
And usually then I'll still do what I said the first time and accidentally find that when I'm editing the rest of it and go, crap.
But yeah, like, there's garage sales next week is Duran citywide. And then in June is the Highway 75 garage sales, which goes from Roscoe all the way to Freeport along 75.
This might be a controversial thing to say real quick. When you're with a guy for like 5 years and you guys already have 2 kids, I'm not going to be that excited when you say, hey, we're engaged. Just a thought.
Well, because
Just a thought.
that time already passed. We were just waiting, and then that time passed. So then when you did it, we're just like, oh, well, that would have been excited like 3 years ago.
You know it's a stronger bond than buying somebody a ring and telling them that you're going to, love them forever? The fact that you already have 2 fucking kids. Just saying. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm all for getting married and everything, but like, you already have 2 kids together. I'm not that excited. I figured you guys were going to spend some time together.
But
I can just picture this lady like
It's not surprising in any
she
way.
shoots the kid out of her vagina onto the daddy's hands.
Is there a
Just
specific
all like, will you
person?
marry me?
He just nails down. Also, you have an inaccurate representation of how birth works in your head.
Man, I've heard some crazy stories.
Shoots across the room.
Is there a specific person you want to name in that reference?
I don't want to name them, no. I mean, I doubt they listen to the podcast, but I don't want to name them. But there is a person.
Do I know this person?
No.
Okay.
No.
Then never
Now I'm
mind.
curious as to who you think I'm talking
I don't know.
All right, let's talk video games. First bit of news, we're going to start going around the industry this week since most of my stuff isn't specific to anybody. Gearbox has confirmed that their next project is indeed Borderlands related. Now, they haven't...
Surprise.
So Randy Pitchford talked about it a little bit at PAX East, saying, quote, "It's no secret, obviously there's going to be another Borderlands." He also goes on to say that they aren't sure if the next installment in the shooter series will be called Borderlands 3 or 4, so they're not necessarily sure where they stand with pre-sequel, I'm guessing then. And with Battleborn still in the works, there is no time frame for when to expect it yet. However, writing will be done by Mikey Newman, who is currently writing for Battleborn. End quote.
Nice.
So that doesn't surprise me at
I
all. I'm
didn't-
pretty sure they've said this before. I don't know why this is...
Yeah.
Apparently, they're also going to allow Battleborn characters to be downloadable characters for Rock Band 4. Yeah, that's a thing. Exciting. Because people still buy Rock Band after they stopped making them and then went, nah, it's been enough time, and then it wasn't enough time. No.
Not at all. Like, that's what I thought it was funny, because, like, I mean, I was kind of interested
Spencer
in it.
was the person that would, like, buy every downloadable song with his Microsoft points. So we just play Spencer's copies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
Which is
I'm
fine
interested
if
in
you
it.
play
it's
the
still
game.
fun to get out once in a while, but that's what I found funny. I'm like, it was just 2 years ago that everybody was rioting that they still had these plastic instruments around, and now
Well,
they want to do it again.
my thing about it is, like, yeah, it's fun to break out every once in a while, but, like, are you gonna buy a new version and, like, with songs you haven't played before, or are you gonna go, like, grab your PS2 and play Guitar Hero 2, where you know the fucking songs?
And at least that's what was nice about the PS4 version, is you
have
could
everything
use
unlocked.
you could use your old stuff. The Xbox, they had
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
the new stuff.
That's dumb.
Yeah, they really got boned on that one. X-boned. Do you guys care about Borderlands at all? Like, I like Borderlands, but
I
I
have
feel like
not-
I've never gotten the craze that, like, I read online and people are freaking out
Every
about
time,
this.
every time I start playing Borderlands with you guys, I end up not playing Borderlands anymore because I'll get on and somebody either went too far or nobody wants to play anymore. So I have yet to finish any of the Borderlands games, despite having owned all of them.
I haven't... I own 1 and 2. I didn't buy pre-sequel.
Oh, I don't have pre-sequel anymore. I traded that in.
And then I haven't completed the story neither. I got really far in 2, but then I just got burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't completed either of them because usually my thing was like everybody was playing it, and then I got the game to play multiplayer with everybody, and then pretty much everybody immediately stopped playing it. So I played through the single player campaign for a while, and then.
Well, that's like
tired of it.
what I found with like games is if I buy a game by myself, and then someone else buys it, then it's fine. But if I buy a game specifically to play with someone, and then they don't want to play anymore, then I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I guess I'll play it by myself. But it's like I bought the game to play with someone, not just I bought it to play by myself, and someone happened to have it.
That's why I've stopped doing that. Like, okay, you guys are playing the game. That's great. I'm not going to buy this game because, like, as soon as I do, everybody's going to quit, and I don't really feel like just playing through it by myself.
If it's a game that I'm into, like if it's a game that I was thinking about getting anyway, I'll usually pick it up because I'll end up playing it by myself. Like I bought Borderlands without knowing anybody else had it. But if it's a game like Barony, which does not interest me at all, and I only own it because Kyle was like, "No, here you go," I would not buy that. Because they were all one night, I'm pretty sure they were all drinking. They're like, "No, come play Barony with us." And I was like, "Nah, guys, I don't really want to." And then Kyle just gave it to me. So,
there you go. Speaking of people freaking out, people are still mad about their gender and race being assigned in Rust.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Like, when you start the game, create your account, you're automatically assigned a random race and a random gender. And people are all like, "I don't want to be a black lady."
I mean, that's weird, but how
Does it
is
change
Rust?
anything?
Is Rust first person?
Yes.
What does it fucking matter?
Yeah.
When your arms are swinging around.
They're like, "I didn't want to be a girl." Like,
Oh no!
Who cares?
like
It does seem weird that the game doesn't give you the option, but it seems weird to complain about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's one of those things that it happens and you just kind of go, "Oh yeah."
well, like when the game first came out, everyone was like a white dude.
Okay.
And then they patched it where it's a random race, random gender, so you can't choose, and then people are mad that they can't choose. It's like, does that really affect your gameplay?
No.
No, not at all. It's only racist people. They're like, "I want to be a black person."
Grow up, people.
Okay, so getting back on the Gearbox side of things. This last weekend they tested Battleborn, their upcoming.
I'm still waiting for Opposing Forces too.
It's a lot like Overwatch in a sense. It's a hero fighter. You got all your heroes, and it's $60, and then you've bought it. But what's kind of neat about it is it does have a story mode. I actually installed the beta just to play around a little bit, but that was more because I was really sad that my Overwatch beta ended, and I needed a fix. It was really bad. But, so, it's basically the same thing. They announced some statistics. Basically, the main ones being that 1.1 million competitive multiplayer matches were played and that 1.4 million story episodes were played.
Over 2 million players.
I assume if they announce that those are big numbers for them. Because, I mean, why not? I don't think Gearbox has done... they're known for shooters and stuff, but this is their first, foray into something like this. Because, I guess the hero shooter really... outside of Team Fortress really isn't a thing right now. It's just coming into its own.
Like, you call Siege, because each person
Nick's
has
got more stats than I have. So
has a named
we'll let him
operator.
go.
But
Over 2 million players served. 825,000 Varelsi portals voided. Joff strived to be a spider 1,670,000 times. 61% of players murdered sentry bots. 39% of players sacrificed minions. 57 billion life points healed. Top healer or life stealer. Number 1 is Miko, number 2 Umbra, and number 3 Wrath. 922,455,000,000 Fury potatoes launched. Top damage dealers Oscar Mike, Marquis, and Thorn. 3 completed challenges. Community unlocked 3 unique gold skins. The game will be available May 3rd.
Oh, doctor.
That is an official infographic from Battleborn.
Which actually now makes tons of sense why that open beta for Overwatch starts May 3rd. Because, okay, so I played them both. I didn't play them around with Battleborn very much. I played, the MOBA mode. Mm-hmm. Which that is one kind of neat thing about it, is it does have different modes. It has, the typical just the fighters fighting each other payload style stuff. But then there's, a first-person MOBA mode. Which, kind of neat, I guess. I played against computers. I wasn't about to try that against other people, but Overwatch is just such a better game.
Yeah.
I played a round of it. My computer doesn't handle it great,
Yeah,
so I had to
fine.
turn the graphics all the way down.
I'm actually thinking about just getting the $40 PC version and then PS4 version for when I want it to
Yeah,
look
I was about
nice.
to say I'm honestly considering just getting it for PS4, but the reason I'd be getting it is to play with people, so that would kind of defeat the purpose.
Well, I mean, I'll play that with you because actually a lot of people are like
Oh, are they?
Mike's getting it for the PS4. A couple people I work with are. I mean, maybe not for necessarily
Right,
you,
right.
but like I know enough people who are, and it surprised me too. I know enough people who are just getting it for PS4 to justify having both for me. I'll probably end up canceling my collector's edition for it, but I'd rather
Right,
just have
right.
2 copies of the game.
I gotcha.
I'm hoping though, because the $60 version is what comes with the extra stuff for the other games. I'm hoping that if I get the place, like if I buy, because you can only get the $60 version on consoles, so I'm hoping I can get the $60 version for console and get all that stuff on my PC for the other games, and then just get the $40 one for PC since it has that option.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I don't have a PS4, nor do I want one, so PC all the way.
Yeah, I mean, my computer runs it, but like, it's the first, like, my laptop isn't great, but this is the first game that, even on medium settings, I'm like, woo!
Yeah, mine still handles it fairly well.
Well, it caught me off guard, too, because typically Blizzard optimizes their games for everything so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I played...
It just makes me sad. Like, the button option to play it is still there in the Battle.net thing, and it still, like, tells you that it's updating the game, but if you try going into it, it's like, yeah, you're not authorized to join a server.
That sucks.
Screw you, Blizzard.
Well, it kind of
Let me
sucks
try.
because I was able to jump on for like the last 2 hours, and I played with Seth and Derek, and we got kicked off at different times. Like Derek got kicked off like 15 minutes earlier than Seth and I did, and then Seth got kicked off like 5 minutes even before I did, and like Seth and I got in a game, and we turned it around because people were getting kicked, so we just got thrown into a random one, and we turned it around. We were this farting close to winning, and then it's like, "No, you're done." Okay, moving on.
I want to think that, like, the Blizzard employees are just watching that match. Like, they're going to win in, like, 2 seconds. All right, turn it down.
Sadly, I could actually see somebody at Blizzard being that much of a troll.
I read an article that that people were so depressed that Titan was so shitty that, like, it took them a while to get, like, acclimated to working on Overwatch and stuff. Because they were so depressed that all of their other products are good and they just pooped on Titan.
Well, I mean, yeah, they have. I mean, Blizzard has. Unless Jay Wilson is involved, there is usually a quality bar. And I mean, Diablo 3 was still good when it came out. It was just.
Yeah.
Thank God Jay Wilson's not involved anymore. There's no other way to put that.
I mean, I imagine Titan would have been good, but I feel like they just thought about it more and were like, we don't want to have to operate 2 MMOs.
Yeah.
I really think that was the big thing.
Especially when their other MMO is still the top played MMO.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, it's
like, yes,
dwindling,
it's
but
bleeding
it's
people,
still there.
but it's still there, yeah.
Yeah.
It still has more than any other one by like 2-3 million people, even when it's at its lowest right now.
And even if it only lasts like 2 months, it's still probably going to peak back up to, you know, a crap ton of people. And
Yeah, because it hit
expansion.
like 12 million again there, right at the beginning of Warlords.
Yeah.
And then everybody was like, oh, I'm just going to stand in my garrison all day long?
yeah.
And they're not going to give us any patches?
And
We're not getting any more content?
yeah, so like probably by the time Legion hits, it'll spike again.
Actually, what's crazy is I was looking at a infograph the other day. This is still going to be the shortest time in between expansions.
What?
Yep, between last patch and expansion.
What?
Well, I don't think between last patch, but
Yeah.
like the expansion life cycle, it's still going to be like 2 months shorter than most other ones. But again, more content, so
Yeah.
yeah, they really screwed the pooch.
Yeah.
Like seriously, there's only 2 tiers of rating in Warlords of Draenor. Like,
I really just wish they'd release the like lead up content for
Did you guys talk about that the other week at all?
no.
what?
Blizzard shut down the most popular legacy server.
I think we did talk
Oh, we
about
did
that.
talk about that,
Yeah.
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 And everyone committed suicide at the Thunder Bluff.
Yep.
So sad. Actually, not on the show notes, but it has been announced since the last time we had a show that Legion's coming out August 30th.
Yep.
I'm kind of excited. Like, I want a reason to be excited about the game. I think that's what that excitement is.
It's one of those things where it looks great. It's just one of those, okay, there's absolutely nothing to do between then, you know.
Yeah, I'm sitting on game time because I'm just like, I'm just going to wait for that to come out.
Basically, because just nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's why they need to get the, like, pre-expansion content going.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just something.
But their official stance on it
Probably
is,
won't be till, like,
you guys don't
late
want
July
it.
if you're lucky.
When asked about it in public, their public response was, you guys think you want it, but you don't want it.
Want what?
That's not me being sarcastic.
For the vanilla service.
That was the actual response. You guys think you want it now, but you don't.
Oh, for the vanilla server?
For any sort of legacy server.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Don't tell me what I fucking want.
I mean, I wouldn't want to go back and play vanilla necessarily, but I wouldn't mind going back and playing Burning Crusade.
Burning Crusade 5-mans.
Hell yeah.
That was back in the day when you just didn't walk into a raid finder and get all your purples. Like, you had your blues and you worked hard for them.
Because I want to play a ranged class so I can actually get into shit. Instead of playing melee warrior who gets invited to nothing because melee sucked.
It's true.
Well, melee warriors sucked.
You just couldn't CC anything. That was the problem.
Yeah, like we could deal. The damage was good, but can't CC anything.
Oh, it's okay. Now you just run through, group everything up, and burn it down.
Yep.
Right, so we're going to move on to some Witcher 3. So there's been some rumors about when the expansion, Blood and Wine, has been coming out. The rumors are pointing towards June. However, CD Projekt Red has gone public and said there will be more information about this in May. They also showed off a couple screenshots which has Geralt, like, on good old Roach, like, approaching a nice village. I mean, look at that village. That looks so peaceful.
It does.
And then
The more information in May is going to be a new screenshot. They're like, it'll be a screenshot with the release date that's like August.
Well, originally, there was a screenshot that came out on a Polish gaming website, GRY Online, that said, once translated from Polish, that it would be June 7th. So that happened.
So it'll just be a new screenshot, like, comes out June 7th.
Well, and since last year,
Dropping
CD
next
Projekt
week.
Red has been saying it'll be the first half of 2016.
Yeah.
So, June 7th, technically in the first half of 2016. It's pretty close to the second half, but
Yeah.
it is still first half. So
yeah, I like The Witcher. Still I'm beating the main game, so I have no reason to be
Me
excited
either.
about an expansion.
Yeah.
I restarted it a couple weeks ago, and then I got distracted by
It's
other
just
games.
so
I want to
overwhelming.
play Witcher 3, but, like,
It's good.
it's iffy if my computer would run it,
Mhm.
and I don't have a console. I've been playing War Thunder all the time. Like, I got back into that game.
Yeah.
Because that game, I like it better than, like, World of Tanks, World of Airplanes and stuff, because you have planes and tanks in the same game, so you can choose what you want to play. I just play tanks all day. I just
There you
blow
go.
people up.
You pick one thing, you stick with it, and you get good at it.
Like, my best match was, like, I just sat around this corner near the cap point, let my other team cap it, and, like, everyone would, like, come around the corner. So it was, like, 10 kills in, like, 5 minutes with my tank. But what sucks is they can disable your crew, so, like, the shell will penetrate and it'll kill your gunner, and, like, your commander has to, like, climb into his seat, so there's, like, a little time delay.
Well, that just makes sense. It's not like you can just walk up to it and then just appear inside.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, Mirror's Edge Catalyst has been delayed yet again.
I did not get a closed beta.
Apparently Dylan's ex-girlfriend did.
And Dylan, I guess.
Oh, did he?
Closed
Yeah, 'cause-
beta is the reason the game got delayed. Keep going.
Because she was all like, I'm so excited. And then in the comments, like, Dylan was all like, I got it too. And I was like, I checked my email. Nothing.
That's dumb.
That's
I
the
liked the
latest
first
go.
one. I never beat it, but I liked it.
I saw a GIF on Our Game Physics, or it was Our Gaming or something, from the beta. And, like, she was, like, running along the top of a building and then jumped. And it was like, like, super shutter. And I was like, think of that in VR. So
That
just
would be
puking
fucking
all over
terrifying.
your room then.
Oh god, I forgot forgot about the fact that this game has a VR mode.
So, game
That'd
director
be fucking
Eric Odell DeHull announced that the game, I probably butchered your last name, I apologize if you just happen to be clicking through YouTube and find our little show here, announced that the game has been pushed another 2 weeks to June 7th. It was originally supposed to come out on February 23rd after its delay out of last year. It wasn't dated last year, but it got pushed out of last year. And that's in North America. The rest of the world will get it June 9th. He says the extra time will be used to address player feedback from the closed beta, particularly in regards to the social play online features. So this is like the ghost stuff. I was watching a video there, like you can set like a record on a certain parkour course and then upload it.
Don't hold me to this. I think it's one of the games where you can play single player, but because of leaderboards, you have to be internet connected all the time to play.
You mean because of EA, you have to be connected online at all times? Fucking EA. I want to play The Sims. Not The Sims. The Sims 2. I want to play fucking Sim City by my goddamn self.
Well, it's like I'm all for leaderboards and stuff. Like it's interesting to see where I rank, but like.
Interesting, but not paramount.
Well, like, let it save your stuff, so when you do reconnect, it just updates it. Why do I have to be connected every second of single player?
Dumb. Don't get me wrong. I have a steady internet connection. That's not the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is the fact that you're telling me I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't like being told what I have to do.
And these days, it's not usually...
Just ask my boss or my mom.
It's not usually a thing of, I'm not capable of it. It's just, I don't want to have to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If for some odd reason Comcast goes down, which they regularly do, I still want the option...
for some normal, everyday reason? Fucking Comcast. We are not sponsored by Comcast. I don't care how much they offer us. I say we never be sponsored by Comcast.
I can be bought. I can be bought. There is a price.
Well, I guess Mediacom won't let Comcast come into Durand.
I mean, good for Mediacom.
Well, Mediacom has data caps.
No, I mean, good for Mediacom. Not necessarily good for the customers.
Yeah, because
good for Mediacom.
I guess Margaret called Comcast and was like, hey, can you, like...
Oh, I wouldn't take their word for it.
Well, no, they said another utility won't let us go in. Like, use their utility pole.
Still wouldn't take Comcast's word
knows?
for it.
It's not so much that they probably can't, it's that they don't want to, because God forbid they actually put any form of money into their infrastructure to make it better.
Well, like, since Mediacom's out there, the cable lines are already there, the utility poles are already there, so...
Yeah. But I'm thinking the problem here is that Mediacom goes, yeah, but you have to follow these guidelines, and Comcast goes, no, we're the people who tell other people what to do. Fuck you.
So
Comcast.
I investigated.
Comcast don't shut off my internet.
Comcast don't shut off your internet.
Moving on.
Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I was like, that's not video game related. I can talk about that later.
Neither was any of this Comcast talk.
Well, like, I was gonna extend it, and then Aaron was just sitting there like, "Would this look like we should continue?" I was like, "Okay."
Bandai Namco has announced that Dark Souls 3 is the fastest selling Souls game to date. In its first couple days there that this news came out.
It's their fastest selling American release ever.
Yeah. Big money, big money. So they didn't give exact numbers, but obviously this is a huge feat. And they also didn't, I was reading somewhere, this could be up for debate, I forgot where I read this, so I don't know how liable the source was, but it also said it didn't include Bloodborne, but it's safe to assume since Dark Souls 3 was multi-platform, it sold better than Bloodborne did, at least initially. Yeah. We'll see.
Physical sales in the UK were up 61% from Dark Souls 2.
I wonder how much of
that's just physical.
I wonder how many collector's editions they sell. Because I feel like
they would have sold a lot more if it came with a fucking full-sized art book. They would have sold one more. I'm the only person that went, it's not a full-sized art book, I don't want it.
But I just feel like Souls fans like it so much that they're willing to dish out the extra little cash most of the time. I mean, even you got the one, the Dark Souls 2 guy.
But that was also because it was on sale. Like,
did you get the butchered box?
You can get it for like 20 or 30.
Somebody got the butchered box. Was it you or Tyler?
No, I forget who was selling it, but like a few weeks after Dark Souls 2 came out, somebody was like, yeah, we're going to sell the collector's edition for $50. So you're going to sell me the collector's edition that comes with all the cool stuff for the same amount as the actual just base game. Okay, I'll buy it. I like the look of that statue.
Yeah.
So
He stands over my desk.
So also on the
He
Dark
stands
Souls
over all
front-
of my amiibo.
There you go.
yeah, we're staying on Dark Souls.
Okay.
But go ahead.
That board game Kickstarter, 3 minutes.
Yep.
They're already over like $1 million in
Has
funding.
anybody actually looked at like how that actually plays?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I looked into it. I didn't explain it, but
I didn't want to pay $113 for it. For like,
especially because the game itself is going to be no more than like 65.
Is that how much you had to?
That's how much.
Well, it was
there's
in-
two.
get the
There's
copy?
It was
there's
in-
two backing levels. The first one is about $113. It's what's the word?
it
I'm
was
looking
like
for?
it was in pounds or euros.
It
or
was in
something.
pounds.
So
It was in
that's
pounds.
why it was so much.
What's the word I'm looking for? Not transferred. The fuck do you do with money when you take it from
Convert?
one kind? Converted. Thank you. It was converted from pounds. It's about $113 to back it.
To back it,
as
yes.
a consumer, you could also back it as a
business,
and
then you get
you'll
6.
Was it 6?
It was 6,
Okay.
and then why they wanted businesses to back it is because you'd get 6 before any other business would be able to buy it on the market.
Yeah, which is a good idea, I think, as far as marketing it as
there
a
was-
Kickstarter to businesses.
Because there was like a one below that, like the same. It was the same price as a consumer. You just got it like a month sooner than everyone else.
Right, and
that
there are expansions that, depending on how many businesses back it, the stretch goals for businesses start unlocking, which is expansions that you can only get through the businesses that backed it.
And then I think 3 or 4 expansions for consumers right now.
Yeah.
And then just for normal backing it, you get every stretch goal.
Yeah,
And there's like
and
20
those will be
stretch
put in.
goals.
I was gonna say those will be put into the
Into
base
the
game.
base
So
When I
basically
first
it was
looked at
one of
it,
those that one was the one that made the most sense
Right.
to back if you were going to do it.
Yeah.
when I was looking at the Kickstarter, they were at like 390,000 pounds. And when I first looked at it, they only had the stretch goals for 80,000 and 90,000, and then no stretch goals after that, like even on their site. And I was like, you guys did not, for some fucking reason, expect to have that much support. I don't know why you didn't expect that.
They are now at 1,355,000.
I mean, I wouldn't expect it, like,
pounds.
Damn.
I wouldn't have expected
Or converted
like, $1,920,000.
$1,920,935.
So they're almost at
So how
$2
many
million.
how many
Yeah.
stretch goals they got on there now?
I didn't get that far yet.
Because like
There are close to 15,000 backers though, so like
well, it's like
that's a lot of game.
I always like looking on Kickstarters and like scrolling all the way down to like where it's like somebody dropped like 10K on this campaign. Like,
Of course,
good on you, sir.
I also want to know with like 15,000 backers, like they've got to be able to get some form of discount that they can potentially offer for it.
Right.
Well, it's
know.
like also like people are probably buying that plus the $28 expansions.
Yeah, for another 80 pounds, which is $113 roughly, for another 80 pounds, you can just add on another copy of the game to your pledge.
Yeah.
I just think that's weird. Like, why wouldn't I just... I mean, I guess I could just back it again, though. Unlock stretch goals. Player characters expansions, Pyromancer, Cleric, Thief, Mercenary, Sorcerer, and Deprived. Core game expansions. The Pursuer, Surlon, Silver Knight Lancers, Firebomb Hollows, Bonfire, Gravestones, Treasure Chest Barrels, Iron Keep expansion, Alon Sword Knights, Alon Knight Captains, Alon Bow Knights, Smelter Demon, Ironclad Soldiers, Mimics, Crystal Lizards, and Armor Set expansions. They're still unlocking those currently. That's just fucking weird and awesome, and I want all of it.
The only kind of, I guess, if you will, slight issue I have with it is just like already having purchasable expansions for it. Like, I understand
It
part
makes
of it's
sense though, because you can't build all of that into the core game. It just becomes too much. Remember when we tried to play fucking Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
it becomes that when you put it all in the base game.
Really, the only actual legitimate reason for being able to do it though is the fact that it looks like it's all miniature based. So like,
it is.
It's paying for the probable giant miniatures.
Bosses and the different bosses and stuff.
It's just kind of one of those things where, like, for me, when I see a game like this, I would want all the things, but that's like a, $250 investment.
Well, and it looks like right now the 4 full expansions, or the 4 boss expansions that they have are the Gaping Dragon, the Black Dragon Calamite, Guardian Dragon, and the 4 Kings. So...
I need to watch a video on how this plays.
Because, like...
Is it like a deck builder?
There's a couple... No. There's a couple videos on the actual Kickstarter page itself that just show how it plays.
Because I tried watching a video, I think you might have linked it, of some guy like trying to like explain how it would work, and the like interviewer didn't even know the guy's name, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not watching this.
Yeah. The game itself seems like it's going to be cool. It is card and miniature based.
Yeah, which, the miniatures is why it's so freaking expensive. Because anything with miniatures is really freaking expensive.
I got a little blurb here on different news, but...
Oh, real quick. There are other boss expansions. The current boss expansions that are for the retail backers are the Last Giant, Manus, and the Executioner's Chariot. And those seem to be all of the goals that have been unlocked totally. So
we'll do your news, we'll skip to Red Dead, and then we'll move on to what you're playing.
Okay. Major esports organization Electronic Sports League is severing ties with adult website YouPorn's professional gaming team, Team YP. This is being done in the wake of a new rule that blocks sponsors who are, quote, widely known for pornographic or other adult mature themes and products, end quote. I guess Team YouPorn also tried to appease and alter their messaging multiple times to comply with ESL's branding. Like it used to say Team YouPorn, they changed it to Team YP. Mm-hmm. They changed their listing on Google, so if you search Team YP, it would go to a Safe for Work site about the gaming league's team. Mm-hmm. But they're all like, yeah, you can't do it still, so...
That's dumb. I mean, I get the base idea of it, but if you can separate the fact that the team is sponsored by a porn website and you can make it so when you search for the fucking team, what comes up is something about the team and not about the sponsor.
Wish I cared to learn more how to follow esports. Like, I enjoy watching esports, but
the same way you follow football.
I just like go into some random tournament and I'm just like, okay,
was
this important? Because like,
welcome to me watching the Super Bowl.
We lost, but oh no, we're still going to the finals. So, and I'm just like, what?
Well, it's like there's different leagues. There's like Major League. There's ESL. Like all the teams fall under a banner, and also depending on which games you like to watch.
Right.
So.
Right.
All right. So the last bit of news this week, we're gonna cut some of the more boring news out. Red Dead Redemption 2, more rumors have spread, starting with the map supposedly leaked, which nobody thought anything of, but then Rockstar took it down. Luckily, the internet archived it, so that wasn't happening. So the map's just back up. If it's to be believed, this is going to be a very large game.
Good. What it showed is the only place in common with 2 was tall trees.
Okay, is that
over on the
that was the wooded area?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it looks like it's gonna spread over around like New Orleans.
Interesting.
There is an idea that it's not a real map because what they've renamed New Orleans to, I don't remember what it's called, but there is a game that just came out that takes place in a city based on New Orleans that they renamed
Mafia
to the
3,
same
I
thing.
believe.
What game?
Mafia 3.
But they renamed it to the same thing that apparently Rockstar has decided to call it. So that's a little weird. But it could totally be a coincidence, and I could see it being a coincidence because
Now Mafia 3, I played Mafia 2, but I can't remember the name of the town. Because I get Godfather 2, because that was a good game. In Mafia 2, Confusion, one of them used actual town names, and the other one...
I would assume if they're changing names in Mafia 3, then Mafia 2 probably changed names as well.
Another little rumor that came out alongside this was the fact that this could be a prequel to Red Dead Redemption. So
Prequel in the sense that it takes place before or prequel that it in the sense that it's John Marsden before?
I mean, I don't know. They didn't say they just said prequel. I assume it would be I assume it would be the second, because why not just tell an after if it wasn't?
Yeah, I'd rather have after, but I better get some fucking PC support Rockstar.
Well, but at the same time, like, if it's not John Marsden, then it could be either before or after. Like, that wouldn't...
It could be his son.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is if it... Like, it could be a prequel and not have anything to do with John Marsden, because there's no reason to not have it take place before, because... John Marsden had nothing to do with Red Dead Revolver.
And wasn't there like a little blurb in Redemption from Revolver, and that was it?
Well, I don't even know about that.
I'm not
like,
sure.
there is nothing from Revolver in Redemption.
Well, and that was one thing I was reading too. Some people were suggesting, because like a lot of people are like, we want John. And I mean, I haven't beaten the game, so I can't speak to it, but a lot of people are saying to them, and I'm curious because I know you two have beaten it. Like,
I have not. I just know the ending.
Oh, okay. So
I got fucking pissed.
They're all like, this is more about just existing in this time frame. It's not like, yeah, the character is cool, but like, if the game wasn't about him, like,
well, like even if the game, he wasn't the character of the game, just the environment that you're in was cool.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're saying. Like, it's more about the environment. Like, yes, John was a cool character, but like, you could make a Red Dead Redemption game without him.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it could take place before, it could take place after, it could take place at the same time as, like, all of those would be acceptable options. They could do the thing that they did with, like, San Andreas, where all of a sudden fucking Tommy Vercetti's in this mission that you're doing.
Yeah.
Or the dude from 3, you have to race him in the woods.
Yeah. Like,
dude from 3.
I don't know what his fucking name is. I never played 3.
By the time
I pirated Vice City when I was 14 years old, and that was the first Grand Theft Auto I played.
Gone.
Sorry. It'll come back to you, and you'll just start saying it while we're talking about something else 2 hours from now.
It would be interesting to see what with the next game, what Rockstar does with if they do like a little parody expansion like Living Nightmare was with the zombies.
I thought that was a great expansion.
I loved it.
I mean, it absolutely is a parody. You're not wrong there, but it was
fun.
Great.
It was fun.
Especially because it was standalone. You could just get Undead Nightmare.
Yeah.
And play it. You could play it on its own. You didn't have to own the base game at all.
That's nice.
It's like Blood Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can just get Blood Dragon. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's it for news. Matt, if you wanted to email us, where could you go? We have no mail.
NIBScast@gmail.com.
Very good. So, fellas.
You don't want to talk about the Division being a buggy piece of shit?
I'll
them saying, we're going to punish them.
So I'll talk about it just because I have partaken in glitches.
Nice! Which one?
The one where you climb up through the wall.
Oh, okay, so not like the infinite damage one?
No.
Oh, okay.
So
You can do infinite damage and kill a boss in one shot.
So the new
nice.
new incursion came out, which is basically like it's neat in premise, but the problem is to do it without bashing your head against the wall, you need a 180 gear score. Now the problem with getting a 180 gear score is that's like a 20% chance off just a mob that drops normal gear, which usually drops at 160.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's like almost impossible to do this. Like I had been gearing up for this incursion the entire time. I had one piece of 180 gear. The entire month leading up to it that I've been farming, I got one piece of 180 gear. So most people were like, well, this is stupid. So they started finding out ways to bug it, to basically farm gear off of it, so that way they could go and do it. At least that's how, I mean, I can't speak to everybody. That's how we did it. We glitched it enough times to get the gear, and then we did it legit.
Is that where those Loot Caves came out of?
No, that was
Loot
Destiny.
Caves was Destiny. Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't glitch it doing infinite damage. So apparently the first glitch was there was a way to make it so you could just one-shot the boss, which is hilarious.
Well, the first glitch was infinite credits.
Okay, I'm thinking
Yeah.
just this itself.
Oh, see, because I know there was a patch.
Oh
like,
yeah, no, the game's been
a
buggy
week or a
here
month
or there
ago
before. Yeah,
where you could get infinite fucking credits.
I'm talking-
and just buy shit.
I'm just speaking to the glitch that I've
Oh, okay.
done.
Okay.
So, because I mean, I try to play games normally, but like when
But sometimes they don't let you.
When seriously, I've
Damn it, Sotor.
I have farmed. I do these two like each day there's a daily, so you do 2 hard modes. So for basically at least like 28 times 2 has been my chance to get 180 gear, and I got 1 piece.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. I'm glitching your game. So this infinite damage thing happened. They patched that. They fixed that. Not like 5 minutes later, somebody posted, "Hey, there's a new glitch."
Yeah.
That's what's going on right now. So to activate this glitch, you run through. So you run through. There's the first little part of the instance with trash, and then you get to the part where they send waves at you. And how you're supposed to do it is you do waves, and like every 2 or 3 waves, they send a bomber. And then you guys got to turn off these turrets and bring the bomb up to this vehicle because you're trying to like explode this really big armored vehicle. And you drop the bomb and then it blows up. Whatever, you go about your business. So like I said, if you don't have 180 gear, essentially, shotgunners rush you and one-shot you. It's not much you can do. It's not fun. I tried it for like 2 hours the first night it came out, and we were just all like, this isn't fun. We're done.
Yeah.
So the new glitch that I have taken part in, not shamefully, I don't know how people figure this shit out. So what you have to do is you run through the first part of this
It
dungeon.
really is.
You run through the first part of the dungeon, you open the door to the wave part, but you don't go through the door. Instead, you come back down the ladder. At this point, the guys had reset. That's why you go through that door to reset everything. You go down this ladder, you drop smart cover, right? You need the smart cover.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have smart cover down, what you can do is then you go to the wall that's on the side below the ladder. So you drop the smart cover up above, you go down the ladder, you perch yourself up against the wall, and then the game you can hold, on PlayStation, you hold X to move between cover points. So you target the smart cover, hold X, start climbing the ladder. When you're halfway up the ladder, you have to have a submachine gun. You unload your submachine gun, all the ammo, and before it starts reloading, you start climbing up again. At that point, the game thinks you're climbing, running to cover, and reloading at the same time, which freaks it out. So you can climb, you get to the top of the ladder and you just keep climbing, and you climb through a wall up into the streets because you do go down into a sewer to start.
Yeah.
Like it's down in the sewer. So once you're up there, you can go around to a wall that they did not texture, so you can fire through it your explosive EMP, and you basically, so that's the only way to damage it now, which takes like a half hour to an hour depending on what difficulty you're on of doing this with 4 people, but it's still a more efficient way to grind gear to do it the right way.
That's,
So you just sit there for a half hour shooting the boss.
Yeah. So the other way to get 180 gear, and the problem with this is, so they added these drops to the dark zone, which are 180 gear. But the problem is, people are getting together on like Reddit and setting up groups of like 30 people to just move around together and do this stuff. So like if you're one guy just like, oh yeah, drop! You just look to the side and Reddit's
there's a
running at you.
fucking mob. I like, you just turn to the side and Reddit is running at you. Just the entirety of Reddit.
Well, it's like, and they're all like over perma-banning people.
What's funny is they took that back. They said like 3 days tops.
Yeah, it's because they went, we're working on a way to punish these people, to punish the people who have been looking into this, and people went, sir, did you say fucking punish? That, you sound shitty as fuck. And it's like, well, okay, they did knowingly break the thing. At the same time,
But
Ubisoft, you were the ones that fucking broke it.
Which, in fairness, it is
Like-
in their
like,
terms.
it's-
Like, if it's a known bug like that, you're not supposed to. But, like, permaban? Holy shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's
do what Blizzard does. Because I don't know if they're going to take my gear away from me or not.
right.
I don't know. If they do, I just stop playing your fucking game.
There you go.
But, Blizzard does take the gear away, ban them for like a week or two, and then let them back in. From what I've heard right now, what I heard from somebody I play with is they were all like they're doing 3-day bans and they don't plan on taking the gear away as of right now, but we'll see. I didn't read that.
And that's fine.
The biggest thing is like, okay, yeah, you're mad that people are exploiting bugs in your game. Why don't you make your game accessible then, so people don't have to exploit the bugs?
Well, and here's another unfortunate thing.
Like, is it
the gear sets that are now dropping out of this, because they have like gear with sets now.
Right.
The set bonuses are things like the set I'm working on right now. When I get my 4 set, every time I pop a headshot, and this stacks up to like 5 times, it increases damage done against them by like 15%. And that stacks up to 5 times, and that's everybody in my party gets to take advantage of that buff. And that's, like, other people get ones where, like, the other set bonuses are, like, increases everybody's skill power, which is, like, your stuff. So, like, if you don't, like, these 4 set bonuses, people are legit going in there with that 1 4 set that does the skill power.
Mm-hmm.
They're going in there with 4 people that have that 4 set, and they're, like, 2-shotting the boss. Like, just doing it legit.
That just seems like they didn't want to do, like, math to balance things. And they're just like, no, just make this really fucking hard. Because we made that set bonus way too good.
And while we had a small, not a large one, but we had a quick moral, do we want to do this? And we're all like, well, the next incursion, it's on the map. It's not out yet. They're all like, requires 240, which means you need to do the challenging version. Because the normal version drops 213. The challenge drops 240. You need 240 to start the next one. And they're like, we're never going to get through it at this rate. Like, we might as well just... Well, we came to the conclusion, farm it up, take our slap on the wrist, and go forward from there.
Yeah, like, I return to previous statement. If you can't make your game accessible enough to the people you were trying to get it...
Then you can't punish them for finding a way to
do it.
do it.
Like, I understand, don't use known bugs to exploit the game. But one, you're not winning real-world money, so who cares if people exploit the game?
Exactly.
Like, I understand Dark Zone when it's PvP, but, like, come on.
Well, that's the thing. If people were doing the Dark Zone, like, normal people, I could understand that being more of an issue. But people are running around in, like, groups of 30 fucking people, and it makes it, like, 0... Like, we were in there 4 of us. Like, 4 people, that's cool. Because this is the thing. Technically, when you're running around in groups that big, the group size is only 4 in that game. So they're getting together and communicating somehow.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're just like, okay, don't hurt the people who are running in this group of 30. Kill everyone else. Like, that's bullshit. Like,
yeah.
If they were killing each other at the end...
That's when this becomes fucking Eve.
Now, I would be down with that. Like, if at the end of that group of 30, it's like, let's kill each other. Do it.
You gotta fucking love the one guy in the group that just decides, alright, I'm done, and just starts shooting everybody.
Leroy!
Like, from the center of the mob.
No, but...
Gets them to shoot everybody
again,
else.
I would understand
just
that
tears it apart.
complaint if that wasn't that, but the PvP part is already broken. People are ruining it anyway. Like, it doesn't matter what gear set you have. If there's 30 people who want you dead, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll just say that's what I've been playing, because I spent like an hour and a half shooting into... Well, that's the funny thing. You don't even see the boss. You just shoot through this gray wall.
And then do you have to go way back around to get the loot?
No, it dilutes it to you. So that would be an easy fix for them, but I'm pretty sure people would fucking riot.
That would be the easiest fix in the world.
It would be... Or
fucking do it.
Is
like, if you're looking for a way to fix this bug, just fucking do that.
There's 15 waves with a counter. Just set it up so all 15 waves have to be cleared to get
that too. Like...
But my biggest thing is, like, I would even be okay. It is very difficult to do it normally. I would be okay trying to do it normally if these shotgunners were not the first thing it throws at you. Like, seriously, you come through a bottleneck, and there's, like, 6 shotgunners that just charge up at you. And like I said, these shotgunners, like, if you're anything below 180, will one-shot you.
Dumb.
So, I feel like the actual moral of the story is, these people need to learn how to code.
Basically.
Well, it is Ubi, so...
Well, yeah. Wouldn't be an Ubisoft game if it was finished.
But I guess Siege is doing real good.
Is it?
Yeah, I got some friends at work that play. They love it.
Well,
Poor man's Counter-Strike, I hear. Which is funny because Counter-Strike's cheaper.
I hear... what I've heard of it, it's basically poor man's Counter-Strike if you want...
Destructibility.
Not necessarily destructibility, if you want roles.
Yeah. 'Cause
Like
each
if you want
operator
this
has
dude
roles.
to have specific abilities, and that dude to have different specific abilities. But yeah, it's
PWP.
basically just Counter-Strike.
I've been watching. I have.
I miss
Speaking of that
Payday.
esports,
I
I've been
like
watching a little bit of like Counter-Strike esports and the shit they do, man.
Right?
Like they toss their like pistol up just to like, oh crap, flashbang, just to get people to turn around. I'm like,
Yeah.
what have you been playing, Matt?
I've been trying to rank up in War Thunder, so I can get better tanks. But I like playing Tank Destroyer and just sitting on the hill, letting all the
What's your main tank?
Stug 3.
Nice, good choice.
I play the German tanks mostly because I have more tanks unlocked, but I'm trying to be getting the some American tanks right now. So my tank right now with the Americans is a light tank, but I'm researching the half track that has the Tank Destroyer gun in the back. But it's a fun game because the physics for the tank shells are cool because when you shoot, if you hit, I know I play arcade mode because realistic mode is not fun at all.
Fuck that.
Because, like, in arcade mode, if an enemy tank is in your line of sight, it'll tag the tank for you, so you know. And also, when you aim, there's a little plus. If it turns green, that means you're probably going to penetrate their armor. Yellow is possibly, red is you're not going to penetrate. And realistic mode, there's no little arrow telling you if you're going to penetrate, and there's also
Dude,
no...
I wish I got that warning when I hit on chicks at bars.
I was
No chance of
I was
penetration.
thinking of some joke for women, but I just wasn't sure what I
There's
wanted to go
also
with.
there's also no tag above enemies, so like if you're sitting in a bush and you don't know what you're looking for, you'll just be like, oh, I just got blown up. From where? Oh, that bush over there that I thought was a tank, but I didn't shoot at it.
It's one of those when you get home from work.
Tree wars.
But what's nice about arcade mode is like things will pop up like, do you want to be the bomber? And like you'll just be like ported into a bomber that's going over. Or, like you can get in dogfights during the tank battle.
That's cool. That's cool.
But when you hit a tank, there's a little screen that pops up that shows where your shell penetrated, and like you don't have to blow up the tank. If you kill the crew inside with a fragmentation shell, they're out.
There you go.
So it's a fun game because there's light tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, AAA for the aircraft, and then tank destroyers.
I think this just come out for PS4 too.
I have no idea.
Because there's also airplane mode you can play in where it's strictly airplanes, but there's airplanes for everybody, but tanks with Americans, Soviets, Germans, and British. Japanese don't have tanks, which they did, but they're not in the game.
All right.
Yes.
It did come out for PS4.
Josh, what have you been up to?
Despite being sad that
Oh, it's a freemium game.
I can't play Overwatch anymore, because I want to continue to play that.
Sure.
I've been playing through Hyrule Warriors Legends, trying to catch up to where I was in Hyrule Warriors.
He played some D&D.
Yeah?
He shocked the shit out of a gelatinous cube. And he's 50 points from being level 3.
D&D? What? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would have kept him in that gelatinous cube for a little longer.
He didn't get absorbed. It did knock Anna out and
I would throw him
tried to absorb
You should
Justin.
throw him into a hole.
Oh, it's going to happen. Just wait.
And then when he tries to grab the
It's okay.
acrobatic boots,
No.
they dissolve.
No, I will have a spell by then. It's called Jump. I have an enchanted feather.
It triples his jump distance.
Yeah.
And the hole all of a sudden just tripled in distance.
Yeah. It's
Well, actually, I don't know.
It's a magic hole.
It's a sentient hole.
It wouldn't help me very much. I'm a gnome. I can't jump that high anyway.
like you'll jump and like coming back down just like a little door open, it'll just get deeper. You'll like be like a foot from the edge, be like, oh, I can reach it, and then come back down. You're like, wait, it's like 10 feet longer now.
Break a leg.
Take fall damage.
It's okay. Just
I got a survey request from Roll20. I was like asking how it.
I got a survey request too, and I was like, I still haven't even ever used.
Like
your
I set up my
service.
account, and I was like, it's like how much do you play? I was like, rarely.
Yeah.
Because like I set it up when I was gonna do Twilight, but then I learned that you can only use what's supported on the website, which is like Pathfinder up to 5e and D&D.
Yeah.
And like I was like,
up to 5e. Like that's...
Okay. What?
Finish the thought.
You said up to 5e, like there's more.
Well, like,
Man's got
there's
a
probably
point.
going to be
Man's
expansions
got
and stuff, but fuck you. But, like, I was like, okay, so I can run the game, but, like, if I want to be able to control lighting and do all this stuff, I got to pay, like, $9 a month, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how the other group gets kicked off.
I
Like
was
how that goes. I still have to actually fucking make you guys make your characters.
Because I got to make my character.
Yeah. So does everyone else, except for Josh. That's because he already has the character.
How is that going to work, like, XP wise? Am I just going to have like level 1 for this group, level 1 for that group, or?
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about
Make
it.
him be a dual class.
Just-
I figured out a fucking story reason why you're in both groups.
Who's ever behind, just scale everything up. And then they can blame Josh when they all die.
Well, like, Phil is going to help move.
I know.
You just told me.
I saw that comment
I probably
like 10 minutes ago.
I probably will.
Okay.
I don't know what that was related to.
It's definitely not to blowing up Gelatinous cubes.
Nick, what have you been up to this week?
I have been playing.
Individuals.
What the fuck do you think I've been playing?
They don't know. Tell the World Wide Web.
I don't know.
What the fuck do you guys think I've been playing? Fucking Dark Souls. I am
Oh, that was
47
totally
hours
not my
in.
guess. I thought it was like Barbie Horse Adventure.
The Dark
That
Souls
too.
of Barbie games.
That's it. No, I'm like 47 hours in, and I think I'm at the last boss now.
Gotta go back and make sure you've done all the side stuff for New Game Plus up.
That's exactly what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm at the last boss. Like Bloodborne, there's more than 2 endings, I'm pretty sure. Like there's like the good ending, the bad ending, and then like 3 gradient endings. Depending on certain actions you take throughout it, as opposed to just like in the first game when you get to the ending, you can choose to fucking light the giant bonfire that kills you, or
Spoilers
walk
for
the
Dark
fuck
Souls!
away. Spoilers for a fucking 6-year-old game, homie. It is not 6 years old. It is like 4 years old. But
My
whatever.
God. That 2 years is all the difference.
Dude, it is.
You know, I guess I just don't care. I've probably seen the entirety of Dark Souls because of like you, Jordan,
Yeah.
everybody else. I
Yeah.
still don't actually know what the hell's going on.
That's okay. Play the first one.
I
It's
do
good.
not like it.
I know you
We
don't.
know you don't.
It's because you have anger issues.
I don't have anger issues. Just a
Tell
when it
that-
comes to video games,
just
tell that to the cat he slapped.
that cat bit me when I let go. Mr. Darcy loves me.
He does. It's weird because he hates everything but you and Jesse.
I was actually thinking like all of the restaurants and everything that have had scolding complaints sent against them.
I
That's
don't
not
complain
anger.
to get
That's
free
not
things.
anger.
That poor Burger King.
This
That's not
people
anger.
suck.
That is him having a high quality for how people should treat him and how his service should be rendered.
Then I get free shit and go back there, but like, look at
And
this
also the fact that he
coupon.
wants free shit.
Like I
It's
just,
a little
I,
vindictive.
I just got 2 bottles of BioTrue eye contact stuff because it was like, hey, answer
Good spirit, malicious intent.
because like I follow the Hunt for Freebies blog and they're all like, get all this free stuff. So like every day I get free stuff in the mail.
You
Nice.
would have gotten along very well with my aunt. She was very, very much into that free stuff. There was
I
actually
can't wait till we see Matt on an episode of Hoarders in like 14 years.
there was actually it was actually
I think that Hoarders is still going to be a show in 14 years.
Probably not a show now.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
but like because there was like months after my aunt passed away, we still kept getting stuff from these people. Like, why do you? She's not doing anything to promote this anymore. Why do you keep sending us stuff?
Oh no,
I mean,
it's still a fucking show.
I won't complain, but
It's in season 8.
Like
So-
I didn't get my Moscow Mule cups from Arbro because I moved and they wouldn't let me change my address after they already shipped it. So.
Well, did you email them and say, "Hey, I never got my
Well,
fucking cups"?
When it was still in processing, I emailed them. I was like, "Hey, I moved. If it's still in processing, can you update the shipping address?" And no one ever emailed me back. So,
Then
You should
email
complain and
them
get free
complain and be
cigarettes.
like, "Hey, I never got my fucking
dude,
shit."
they always tell me I get coupons for cigarettes. I was like, I don't want your coupons. I just want the free shit you give away.
Exactly.
Where would you rank Dark Souls 3? In
You
the
mean like
Souls
in
universe?
In the Souls universe?
Yeah, and all of them, like Demon and
I mean,
Bloodborne.
the problem with that is, I was talking to Derek about this. Every time a new Dark Souls game comes out, it is always the best. I can't rank it for at least another 6 months when I've been able to digest it and I've played it and I've gone back and played a couple of the other ones already, and like once I've done that, I can accurately say it. But as of right now, because it's new and I'm still finding fun shit that like I didn't expect to find in it,
Right.
like it's the best.
Okay.
I'm glad that it's been out long enough that like
Because everybody, everything I've been reading is like very Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne kind of get together and have a baby.
Yeah, they took out a lot of the stuff that they added in 2.
Like the health decreasing, did they get rid of that?
They did get rid of that.
They still have the weapons.
Instead, when you do this game's version of what do you call it when you press the
Humanity.
Yeah, basically when you
Reverse
hollowing, this game's version of that, it just takes your health and gives you 140% of that.
Okay.
So you do get a buff for being. This is called enkindling. So you get a buff for that. There is hollowing, and it is a separate thing that is tied into one of the endings that you can get, and there's a storyline that you have to go through with it and everything like that. Story-wise, like in-game story-wise, like presented not just through flavor and whatnot, I'd say that there is a lot more storylines and a lot more compelling storylines in this one.
Is there still the weapons that have 2 modes?
No, that was Bloodborne.
yeah.
Oh, that was Bloodborne.
That was Bloodborne. No, and in the second one, there was a thing where if you were dual wielding and you had like twice the required stat to wield a weapon and you were two-handing it, you could go into a power stance and then you had a different moveset. That's out because now in this version, all dual wield weapons are a set of weapons. And that's neat. It's a little weird. All the weapons have different weapon arts. So like katanas, you can do a hold stance where you resheath it and you just wait, and you can do like a quick strike that's like twice as fast as the normal strike, or an even more powerful like you sprint forward a distance and strike. One of the axes that I was using for a while had an ability called Warcry, which when you use that, it buffs your damage output for a brief period of time. And all of this comes out of what used to be mana. It's just focus points now. And it works for those and your actual magic as well.
Okay.
It's cool. I like it. Shields, there's 3 different things you can have on a shield. You can have parry. You can have a shield bash instead of parry. Or you can have one that just lets you do the sword art. Basically, weapon arts, you have to either be only wielding that or two-handing it. And then it's your L2. Unless you have a shield that has the ability of, letting you use the weapon art while you have it out. It's cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
I love listening to your description of that, though, not being really familiar with the set, but just because I look at games like that and how well it flows together and how well it's put together, and then compare it to games like The Division, which are buggy as crap and don't actually work. Like...
It works. I've got 240 gear now.
And I feel like...
We had to find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
But it works.
I
once you do that.
I climbed through.
I climbed through the wall.
I guess I just always enjoy looking at the different games and how much difference there is in quality. Like, obviously, they're very different games, but still, like...
My favorite thing about the difference in quality there is, it was developed by FromSoft, but it's published by fucking Bandai Namco, and their PC versions, just across the board, are terrible, and a lot of their localization is terrible.
Dark Souls 3 PC version was the definitive way, I've heard.
I've heard just because they didn't lack the frame rate, it makes it worth it. But my computer doesn't give a fuck whether or not you lack the frame rate because it can't handle the 30 probably. So
happens.
You'll need to update your PCs.
Yeah, I was bummed though because I found out.
Gosh.
I was bummed though
because
I found out that everybody got it for PC. So it's like, oh, I can't call up with anybody. And then Matt Czech somehow broke his computer. We have no idea how. It can't run Dark Souls 3, even though fucking Kyle's computer, which is the exact same computer, can. We don't know what Matt did. We're like, have you updated your drivers? He's like, I don't have any money.
Matt.
You don't need money to update. What the fuck are you talking about? He's like,
hold
well,
on,
to
hold on.
to
Get his
upgrade
parents to buy him a
my
new one.
drivers. I was like, no. Your drivers are just what tells your computer how to use your fucking graphics card. He's like, oh, well, how do I do that?
What?
How do you...
You're a video game design student.
Exactly!
Yeah.
How do you not
Driver?
fucking know what that is?
Yeah, how do you not know how to operate your computer if you're
No.
expecting to go into programming?
Most-
Yeah.
That just disturbs me.
Most,
This is why games don't work.
Exactly.
most
Oh my
game.
God.
But
They don't
yeah,
update their drivers.
So Kyle had bought him it for PC, and I think he ended up doing a return on Steam for it because he didn't play it enough for them not to.
Right.
And then either Kyle or Mike bought it for him on PS4. So now I have somebody I can co-op with, but I haven't fucking talked to Matt Czech since the game came out. I don't whatever.
Yeah,
Alright.
it'll be nice when I'll be able to host because if he wants to come down, he just shoots down.
Exactly. It
shoots
your
down that.
place is between us
it's
and
like
Matt Czech.
well, it's like Madison's here. There's a country highway here, and Durand is here. So he
Yeah.
just takes that one road all the way into Durand.
Yeah.
Probably
he
still
wouldn't have
won't.
to drive nearly as far.
But he won't.
Probably won't, but you know,
Well, it's less convoluted. He could probably make that stoned.
until he sees a deer and hits it.
His parents don't listen to this podcast. I'm not cutting that out.
Anyway.
Now,
There's no way in their heart of hearts his parents don't know that he gets stoned.
now Ubisoft listens, and
His dad's a
Aaron's gonna
detective.
boot up the Division and be like, "You were banned. We
You were
listened-
perma-banned."
We listened to that podcast."
I'll just be like, yo, since you did this before any of the paid DLC came out, can I get my money at least for the season pass back?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, it's like I paid for.
No, we're Ubisoft.
so that would be okay though.
We'll give you
because,
80% of a dollar bill.
Like
Probably.
by the time this would come out and they would listen to it, you'd only have like a week before Overwatch starts up again. So like
true.
it really
Don't
wouldn't matter because you could be like, okay,
Well,
fine,
it's
I'll just
like,
go play
Man has a
Overwatch.
point.
I paid for the DLC or the season pass for Fallout 4, and I'm like, I kind of pissed that I paid for the season pass now,
Yeah, I haven't
cause
like
like
looked into the DLC at all.
the mechanist or machinist or whatever it's called. Yeah, that adds robots you control, and that's kind of cool. And there's a little bit of story to it. The other one, the workshop thing, like all it adds is like wall traps and stuff, and it's only like $5. But I'm waiting for the one that actually extends the story.
Alright.
But they don't have story with them?
Well, like I'm pretty sure the $5 one just adds traps you can build.
Dumb.
Horse armor man.
Now the machinist one that has story to it.
Oh, okay. Not as dumb.
Alright, well that's been another exciting edition of the NIBScast.
Terribly exciting.
If you've liked
Yep.
this video, if you've liked what you've just listened to, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube.
You guys want some more excitement? I can start talking about Metal Gear Solid 5.
Go ahead and like us on Facebook. You can find that link in the description below. Share us with a friend. Share us with a family member. Share us with an enemy.
Send us money.
I can be bought Comcast. The other guys might not, but like I'll go off and do my own thing. I can be bought.
Dude, just share the money with me so I can keep my integrity publicly.
Anyway, until next time, I'm Aaron.
I'm Nikki13.
I'm Matt.
I'm Josh.
See ya!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.